Welcome back to Codeverse. In this video, we'll explore how to communicate with your C++ programs, by giving input and displaying output. You'll learn how to use cin and cout, and by the end, you'll write your own interactive mini-program. Let's get started. Before we dive into the code, let's understand what input and output mean in programming. Input is any data the user provides to the program, like typing a number or a name. Output is what the program shows the user, like displaying a message or the result of a calculation. In C++, we use cin to get input from the user, and cout to print output to the screen. These tools make your programs interactive and dynamic. Let's look at a simple visual to make this clearer. In C++, output is how your program communicates with the user. The most common way to display information is with cout. Cout stands for character output, and it's part of the iostream library. You simply use it like this: cout hello world. The operator is called the insertion operator. It inserts the value into the output stream, in this case, the console. You can output text, numbers, variables, or even combine them together. To move to a new line, use endl or \n. Here's an example: cout age, aged endl. This prints the label and the variable value on the same line. Simple, right? Now that we've seen how to send output to the screen using cout, let's learn how to receive input from the user using cin. In C++, cin stands for console input. It allows you to read data entered by the user through the keyboard. The syntax is very simple: you type cin followed by the name of the variable that will hold the input. The operator here is called the extraction operator, and it works like a funnel, pulling information from the user into your program. Let's try it with an example. Suppose we want to ask the user to enter their name. We'll write string name, cin the name, then we can display it back using cout. Just like this: cout hello, name exclamation point, but remember, cin stops reading input at the first white space, so if the user types a full name like John Smith, only John will be stored. We'll cover how to handle full lines of text later on using getLine. For now, let's see cin in action. So far, we've used cin to get just one value from the user. But what if we need multiple inputs, like age and height, or two numbers to add together? C++ allows you to read multiple values in one line using cin by chaining the input operators. Let's see a quick example. Imagine we want the user to enter their age and height. We can write cin aged height. This tells C++ to wait for two inputs, separated by a space or new line. The user could type 25 and 170. And both values would be stored in the variables in order. Now that you know how to take input using cin, let's talk about some common mistakes that can confuse beginners, and sometimes even experienced coders. First mistake: trying to input different data types without planning ahead. For example, if you use cin age and name, and expect the user to enter 25 John, that works fine. But what if they enter John 25 instead? Cin will try to store John in the age variable, which expects an integer, and that will fail. Second mistake: using cin with string variables to read full names or sentences without handling spaces. Cin reads input only until the first space, so if you write string full name, cin a full name, and the user types John Smith, only John will be stored, Smith will be ignored. To fix that, you should use getLine, cin, full name, instead. We'll cover that later in the course. Third mistake: assuming the user will always enter the right type. If you ask for a number but the user types a word like banana, cin enters a fail state, and stops working unless you clear it manually. And finally, combining multiple cin operations without checking if the previous ones worked. One invalid input can cause all remaining cin statements to be skipped. These mistakes are totally normal when you're starting out. What matters is knowing they exist and learning how to avoid them. Now let's bring everything together with a quick live coding demo. We'll create a small C++ program that asks the user for their name, age, and favorite number, then prints a personalized message. First, let's start with the basic structure of a C++ program. We need to include the iostream library and use the main function. Then, we'll declare 3 variables, a string for the name, and 2 integers for the age and the favorite number. After that, we'll prompt the user to enter each value. Notice that we'll use getLine for the name to allow spaces, and cin for the numbers. Finally, we'll display a message using cout, combining all the inputs in a friendly sentence. Let's see how it works step by step. As you can see, the program first asks for the full name using getLine, which handles spaces properly. Then, it collects 2 numeric values with cin. In the final cout line, we combined all 3 variables into one message using the insertion operator. This is how we create interactive programs that respond to user input. Try changing the variable names or adding new prompts to customize it, the possibilities are endless. Just remember, always test your inputs and try different combinations to see how your code reacts. Alright. Let's see how well you understood today's lesson with a quick mini quiz. Question 1. Which operator do we use for output in C++? A. Extraction operator. B. Insertion operator. C. Equality comparison. D. Double slash. The correct answer is B, the insertion operator, used with cout. Question 2. What happens if you use cin to read a string and the user enters a sentence with spaces? A. All the words are stored. B. Only the first word is stored. C. It causes a crash. D. It skips the input. The correct answer is B, only the first word is stored. To read the full sentence, you need getLine. Final question. What is the correct way to take 2 integer inputs in a single line? A. Cin x, y. B. Cin x, y. C. Cin x, y. D. X, y, cin. And the answer is B, cin x, y. Great job if you got them right. And if not, don't worry, this stuff gets easier with practice. Awesome work, you've just learned the basics of input and output in C++. We covered how to use cout to display messages, cin to read user input, how to handle multiple inputs, and some common mistakes to watch out for. You also built your first interactive program, and took a quiz to test your knowledge. In the next lesson, we'll go even deeper. You'll learn how to work with strings, including full sentences, getLine, string concatenation, and useful string functions in C++. It's one of the most fun and powerful parts of the language, so don't miss it. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and keep coding.